Well, it says we're live.
So, of course, we believe you. Let's see here. If you like to keep the air conditioner running, please God, keep the air conditioner running. Kofi.com will bank you for it. Every bit you send goes to the air conditioner fund. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah.
If you like coffee, buy it from King Harvest Imperial Coffees. Let them know you heard about it from us. And trust me, anything that says geisha on it is really high-end coffee. Good coffee.
Yes. Chicory's not bad.
Chicory ain't bad either.
Neither is the Blanket Fort blend.
Blanket Fort blend's good. They're all good coffees. Yeah. Among the leaves teas for all your Smart Aleck t-shirt needs. Friend of ours, let them know you heard about it from us. All right, what do we got? Apparently we are short of Cedar.
Yeah. Well, Cedar was not supposed to be here today anyway. That was Tuesday.
This is Thursday. Disregard. Doesn't Sarah Hoyt have a blended cake? That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, probably Jesse.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I had alluded to the old style computers, i.e. slipsticks, and I drug this out last night. This is a Mark 8C computer, notice the spelling, from Weems and Pan American Nav Services.
Pan Am.
Yeah. And there's the front of it. Very plain. Allows you to get your temperatures, convert Fahrenheit to centigrade, and vice versa. And let me reset this son of a bitch. All right, where the hell did you go? There you are. Come back here, you son of a bitch. We can match up so it makes sense. Because otherwise people won't understand. The back of it's a little bit busier, but it allows you to compute your airspeed, either true airspeed or ground speed. It allows you to compute your pressure altitude and your air temp. And it allows you to compute your density altitude, which are all critical things aviators like to know. And it also has a quick and dirty, and I know you can't read it, of how to compute to the airspeed and your altitudes.
The great thing about things like this is anytime you have a formula that requires two inputs to get a third, as long as you have two of them, you can compute the third no matter what. On my old blog, I had something that showed how to use the tachometer on a watch.
Yeah.
To compute speed. If you knew the distance you were going and the distance and how long it took you, you could get speed.
Yeah.
If you knew your speed and the distance, you could get how long it took. You could get it. As long as when you got three, as long as you have any two of them, you can get the third.
Well, and that's where the fancy watches.
Yep, with the tachometers on them.
Yeah, with the tachometers on them.
I can't use anymore.
Yes, differs. It is coffee spill proof.
It's laminated.
It's laminated. It's plastic. I'm guessing from the 1950s. The guy that I got it from was an ex-Navy World War II pilot, Navy pilot, flew F-4s and F-6s, and then went to Pan Am and flew the Lockheed Constellations, and then went to work for Hughes Aircraft at El Segundo. So I'm guessing this is from the 1950s, probably.
Well, I was noticing that because one of the things I noticed was on the addresses,
zip code.
There ain't no zip code. North Hollywood, California, and Annapolis, Maryland. Ain't no zip code on there, and they don't have the modern two-letter
street address either.
Well, state codes.
Yeah.
So
I need to reorder that back together. Anyway, it's a keepsake.
Oh, it's handy.
Yeah. And nothing is marine proof. It's only marine resistant.
In the 60s and 70s, the entire petroleum industry worked off stuff like that.
Yeah. One thing I've got to mention because I absolutely have no understanding of the meltdown, and that's the American Eagle ads over Sydney Sweeney and her blue jeans. How in the hell do you get from a girl in blue jeans to Nazism, racism,
fascism,
and every other ism out there? I don't friggin' understand.
Because you don't understand the multi-hair color fat catkins that simply exist to be offended. I love American Eagle's response to that, by the way.
Yeah.
Their response is great.
Yeah, it reminded me of Calvin Klein, or not Calvin Klein, Gloria Vanderbilt using, crap, now I forgot her name. The female that portrayed the hooker at 12 years old on screen. Anyway, she was only 15 years old when she did the Gloria Vanderbilt ad with the jeans, and she was basically topless.
Shields?
Huh?
Brooke
Shields, yeah. And she was topless when she did the ad, and nothing was said. Now, Bill, you're as old as I am. I originally thought Jodie Foster, but it wasn't Jodie Foster. It was Brooke Shields. But how the frack do you get from a jeans ad to that, other than an absolute meltdown?
I'm trying to find the.
Yes, she did, Bill. If you go back and look at one of her first movies, she played a 12-year-old hooker in New Orleans. I remember that one because the hoorah about her being 12 years old.
So, American Eagle, to whom it may concern, we sincerely apologize for featuring Sydney Sweeney in our. I can't read that. Hang on. Why are they blurring all this stuff?
Because I don't want you to read it.
We sincerely apologize for featuring Sydney Sweeney in a recent advertisement. In hindsight, we underestimated the combined impact of blue eyes, blonde hair, and general hotness. Also, we did not realize how big her boobs would be. Our marketing team has been sent to denim sensitivity training. Thank you for your feedback. Please stop emailing us. We're still trying to recover from the group chat fallout.
Yes, Bill, you're also correct on Jodie Foster and Taxi. No, Jesse, that was from American Eagle.
As far as I know, it's American Eagle. Unless somebody tells me different, it's an American Eagle response.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Sir Brass.
Yeah. Sex sells. It's going to. But the interesting thing is, welcome to the Streisand effect.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Welcome to. I mean, and somebody else said that there was somebody on my feed. I have feeds from really weird people. Somebody on my feed who's a marketing exec said he was reaching out to the American, trying to reach out to the American Eagle marketing people to ask what the thought was what they thought of it, and apparently was told they were still recovering from the celebratory punch up.
Yeah,
and were still drunk.
Yeah, apparently one of the and this was one that I just caught in passing. One of the problems, quote unquote, with the ad was I used the term jeans, Genes, rather than Jems.
Yeah, because she said something about she had good genes.
Yeah,
no shit. Have you seen her?
Yeah,
she's got good genes. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's also true, Sir Brass. Yes, thank you, Ross. Pretty baby. Yeah, fruck 'em. I did not see that one differs, and I'm probably glad I didn't.
Anywho, wow. Yeah, no kidding about how much stuff costs. Anybody fondly look back to $12 jeans?
Yeah.
I paid $54 for a set of $15 jeans.
Yeah.
I was not happy.
That's smart. Just caught my holster on the chair. Poked myself in the side.
Okay.
I will admit, I did go back and look at my facial expressions on Tuesday when that idiot pulled his crap. I didn't realize how much my facial expressions changed.
Well, you got some bass in your voice too.
Yeah. But I also was watching my eyes going back and forth between the
You
two.
were target tracking.
Yeah. Sorry about that, folks.
And they figured it out too.
Yeah.
Speaking of holsters,
yes.
Have you seen there's a guy, Wyoming Guns, on YouTube, has finally managed to consistently recreate the P320 discharges.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And SIG is still fighting back.
Yeah.
But the Air Force, both the Air Police and one of the missile squadrons, have basically said, we're not using it. And, they pulled them back, put them in the armory, and issued M4s.
Yeah. And the Wyoming Guns is getting crap because on video, if you look at still shots and don't look at the entire video, he's got a screw sticking out of the trigger hinge. And oh my God, no, he's using the screw to hold the trigger back 1 millimeter.
Yeah.
Maybe a 10th.
Less than a millimeter.
He's using the screw just to hold the trigger back, then he wiggles back to back the slide and it goes off.
Yeah.
And he does it repeatedly.
Yeah, and the other thing people were bitching about, well, we didn't see it recoil because he was using primers only.
Yeah. He's going to put a 124 grain jacket of hollow point in there and start trying to get it to misfire or accidental discharge. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Didn't recoil. No, it did. Went pow.
Yeah.
I know a lot of really good people that have been defending the 320 for a while.
Yeah.
I won't say their names. And no, Robert Cruz, real death bow is Moss IU in the school. No, the death bow is Gunsight has kicked him out.
Gunsight and Moss within a day of each other.
Yeah. But I know some really high-end gunsmiths and knowledgeable gun folks that have been defending in the past. I haven't heard anything. Haven't heard anything from them backtracking their stance, and that's okay. There were some pretty fervent. I don't have a dog in the fight on the 320. I don't have a 320.
Yeah.
And not for any suspicion. It's just that what I've got works for me. I don't know plus or minus about 320s. And some of these really knowledgeable high-end experts were defending them.
Yeah.
And now this, it turns out, oh, woof.
Well, they're thinking the thinking, and again, this is, third-hand YouTube, is there may be a ledge on the sear, which is just enough. That may be.
I don't know enough about the design.
The 1 millimeter setback may be enough to catch the ledge.
That ledge. The interesting thing for me as a as a 1980s Army trained gunsmith is the fact that wiggling the slide side to side instead of front to back sets it off.
And also wiggling it.
Yeah. Side to side.
There's a play in the height of the slide over the grip, which it's not a 1911.
No.
I mean, a 1911, you can sit there and shake the son of a bitch and it'll rattle.
My Glocks have a little bit of play. Every modern master gun's got play inside. Yeah. But like I said, the interesting thing to me is the side to side.
Yeah.
Trigger or releases the striker. And
that's why they're thinking there's a ledge on that spear
or something.
Yeah.
Again, it's not my I don't have a dog in the fight. Don't know a thing about it. Don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah. I don't have any SIGs. I've never liked SIGs. That's just a personal opinion.
I love the 239.
I never have.
The 239, the single stack 9mm was a damn decent piece of kit. It really was. The 225 was one of the few single stack 9s that I could get back in the day. And I like single stack 9mm because I've got small hands. I have small hands. I'm fine boned with attendant small hands. I like the Glock 48 and 43X are about the only pistols these days that I can hit the controls with my thumb.
Yeah.
With a full firing grip without having to shift the firing grip on a single stack 9 or the Glock 48 43X. I can hit the slide release, the magazine release without having to spin it a couple degrees in my hand. The Glock 19, I have to, when I'm getting ready to dump the magazine, I have to loosen my grip and flick it so that it goes around enough that my thumb can hit the damn mag release.
Yeah. The newest gun I've got's
Rock.
Watch it. I bought a 42 and a 48.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two newest I've got.
You got a Glock 48?
Yeah.
Damn fine piece of kit.
But most of what I've got is Colts and, revolvers, 1911s, and the 1989 Glock 17.
Mm-hmm.
It's my original one. And then the Car P9. But that's it. I haven't wasted my money on the latest and greatest thing because, quite honestly, why? What I've got works.
I would love, my favorite all-time sidearm pistol was an HKP7. I can't afford the HKP7 anymore.
Yeah.
My second favorite was a Beretta 92M DAO. It was the 9mm 8-round version of the 92. And it had a slick slide with a double action only. And Beretta double action onlys are nice. They're nice pieces of kit. They really are. If somebody would make a hammer-fired single stack, either DAO or DASA, I would buy that and carry it because I trained outside of my P7. I trained to stage my thumb on the hammer when I was putting it.
Yeah,
I would park my thumb on the hammer either for 4 o'clock or for appendix carry, and with my thumb braced on the hammer, it wasn't going off.
Yeah.
One of the things that drives me nuts. I mean, I get worried. I really do when I'm reholstering my Glock because stuff gets in the holster. It's going to get in the holster. I own these days. I have Kydex or good quality leather, expensive quality leather holsters because cheap holsters I've seen at least one, a cheap leather, either a gun stock from Uncle Mike's or cheap leather holster. After wearing it for a while, the lip, that thin leather lip on a cheap leather holster, gets floppy and will go over into the trigger guard about half the time.
Yeah. I do not like Berettas. I shot 92s when we were doing some of the original testing on them before they got adopted, and we cracked slides.
Yeah, the original ones,
Yeah.
the Beretta 92S, yeah. The 92F, no.
But it's a friggin' big. I could manipulate it. My hands are a little bigger than yours, but I could manipulate the son of a bitch without having to shift it. And I didn't like the double action, single action, because, again, old fart, I want to know what that trigger is going to do. It's either going to be double action or it's going to be single action. And
you want one of the two.
I want one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up shooting 1911s and revolvers, single action to me is much cleaner.
Yeah.
Now, it took me a while, I'll be completely honest, it took me a while to get used to the Glock trigger, because you had to pull it so far.
It's not the best trigger out of the box.
No.
You got CZ75. I love CZ75s. I had a CZ75 PCR, which it's the compact with the decocker. Love them. They're too damn big. I can't get again. I still can't get the controls.
The other thing that I've never understood with Smiths is with the Shield, I think it was. Well, I know with the M&P, to get a good trigger, you had to replace the trigger with an Apex.
Apex trigger, yeah.
Why should I buy a pistol with a bad trigger to start with, to have to spend a third of what the pistol cost and the gunsmithing fee to get a good trigger in it? Why?
And I have to admit that all of my Glocks, mine and Rita's, when I've worked on Rita's Glocks, SSVI, they used to have what they call the tier trigger, TYR, tier trigger, was the best drop-in trigger job for a Glock. So I replaced all of the triggers with the SSVI tier triggers, and I knock out the dovetail protectors, aka sights that come with Glocks, in favor of a decent sight, and there are, on my personal, I do a couple other things, but that's the first thing. I get a Glock, I yank the trigger assembly out, stick in SSVI trigger, and I yank those idiot dovetail protectors off, because Glock factory sights suck.
Yay, arcade. Yes. Holy smokes, it's bright. Yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Get a good pair of sunglasses. Highly recommend really quality sunglasses, like Ray-Bans.
Yeah. Maui Gems are the newer. There's Shady Rays and Maui Gems are decent. It took me a long time with 2 sets of Maui Gems. Yeah. It took me a long time to get away from needing glasses that were eye armor.
Yeah.
Because there for a long time, there for decades, my dark glasses had to be eye armor. I started with gargoyles, which apparently went paws up.
Yeah.
I miss gargoyles. Started with gargoyles, went to Oakley's, and I can't justify eye armor anymore.
Yeah, but the other problem I have with, not only with Smith & Wesson M&Ps, but also with the XDs, is their grip angle is just enough different that I cannot shoot either one of them accurately without constantly checking my sight picture.
I understand.
Now, I take a pistol or a 1911 and I can blind put it out there and then come and look at it, and I'm on target.
Yep.
With an MP or XD, I'm going to be high right every time, and I got to physically drag it back down where it's supposed to be.
What I do with a new pistol, and right now I'm locked on Glocks. I've got Glocks that work for me. Um, they're not best, but the best, but they're acceptable.
They work.
They work. If I like I said, if I can find if somebody would bring out a modern single stack or even the compressed semi double stack that the 48 has,
Yeah,
with a friggin' uh, um, hammer on it, I would switch that in a heartbeat. But I do at least every week. I do 50 presentations from the holster.
Yeah.
In a mirror, I check and clear check the pistol, and then I practice presenting from the and coming up on my the sights on the dot at every Saturday at least 50 repetitions.
And Ned Evans, a number of years ago, wrote a great book on dry firing.
And that did, yes.
Yeah.
I've got an autographed copy.
Yeah, so
I don't dry fire as much as I should. I just do presentations.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to train my brain to work with a green dot sight instead of the sights.
Yeah,
and I keep doing presentations. One, it never hurts to practice your draw.
Yeah,
never ever. Do you normally turtle like you do on camera? Yes, and I think Bill Armstrong's on here. We've had that discussion, and I'm working on breaking it. But yes, and the reason I suspect the reason I turtle is because under stress, the body's unconscious reaction is to protect. So when I turtle, you'll notice my shoulders and my chin are now protecting this very vulnerable carotid arteries, jugular. This is a very vulnerable. So
yeah,
you'll notice that everything's being protected here. But I don't know. I'm just a thug.
Well, and if you think about it, if you go back and read, oh damn it, I hate when I draw a blank. The guy that Singapore.
Wasn't Singapore, it was Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, yeah.
Fairbank.
Wrote about the flying squads that he ran. And the traps that they, quote, missed when they went in on raids. Because the automatic turtling, they were actually hunching and going under the traps that were set.
Yeah.
Because they were set to cut their throats or hit them in the eyes.
Shanghai? I thought it was Hong Kong. Might be Shanghai. I don't know. It was in China.
Shanghai, yeah.
Fairbank.
Hong Kong had their own set of issues.
At the turn of the century, everywhere had issues.
Yeah.
People talk about how bad Singapore, Hong Kong, and Shanghai were. Obviously never been to San Francisco or Portland.
Hong Kong you had Hong Kong and Macau. And when we went in there were areas that we were told to stay out of for good reason. But British Seamen's Club was an interesting place because the first drink was free.
First taste is free.
Yeah. The only problem was it was 151 Pussers rum. That shit had a kick.
Big short barrel rifle is going to open up next year for pistol chassis stocks. Yeah. Well, I would love, quite honestly, if the short barrel rifle comes off of the National Firearms list, I'm going to buy a 14-inch barreled 30-30 lever action.
Yeah.
Now I'm focused on my draw stroke and it's starting to bode the crap out of me.
Thanks, Richard. The thing is, we all react differently, and
I'm willing to bet that's Bill Armstrong just texted me.
Yeah, somebody just texted me too.
Oh.
I'm betting it's Bill. Nope. Okay, never mind.
I'm going over my draw stroke.
So everybody does it differently. And, you have your tactical Tommy trainers out there that, everything must be done this way. Just like in writing. No, there is no one way to do everything. There are safe ways to do things. And a good trainer is going to stress that.
There are ways that are less sucky than other ways.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to a gun school or any sort of training, I promise myself that after I get done the training, I will train their way for at least a month after, and then I see what falls into my toolbox.
Yeah.
I had a sheriff that was in love with center axis relock. He was not a shooter. And he was in love with the center axis relock way of shooting. This is right after Paul Castle died. So every one of his deputies had to go to center axis relock. And I promised him for a month after I trained center axis relock. And then I just went back to, I didn't think about how I shot. And I was shocked to find out that if I was doing a linear assault, that is an assault down the center of a train, the center aisle of a train, the center aisle of a airplane, anything that was a center aisle with possible threats on either side, I would default to center axis relock high carry, whatever the hell I call it, high carry. It worked well. Not for anything else though.
Well, I was taught by my grandfather with single action army.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was draw and one-handed straight ahead.
Yep.
When I got into the 1911s and was taught by World War II veterans, a lot of it was single-handed, but it was also turn
right
and present
the FBI single.
Yeah. Because that's what they'd used in combat, and they came home. And also the sucky sights on a 1911 back in the day. I mean, everybody bitches about the sights on a Glock today.
Yeah.
Go look at an old 1911. Little bitty thin blade, little bitty notch in the back. You weren't aiming so much as you were point shooting back in the day. And then jumping forward, taking courses from Tom Givens.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent presentation. A number of other people. Shooting bullseye in the early 70s, instructed by a Marine gunny, taught me how the proper way to shoot bullseye. Camp Perry presentation. Yes, and that it's hard work to break those things because based, and this was years ago, so there's probably changed 14 times. But they used to say that 3,000 repetitions was what it took to become pure muscle memory.
Yeah, to groove it into a reflex.
Yeah.
I think they still say that.
Yeah. But that's one reason. Well, one of the reasons I will never go to an appendix carry. One, I don't want to point anything at my junk or my femoral artery. And two, I have drawn from 3 o'clock for so many years that if I get in the situation, that's where I'm going.
I have the same thing. Used to long time ago, one of my sheriffs used to laugh at me because when I was carrying an AR, I had a what I call an emergency reload. I forgot who the hell taught me that. I'd have emergency reload at 7 o'clock because I had practiced so often in schools, at gun sight, at Quell, when I ran out, I would go to 7 o'clock for a pistol reload. So it was just, oh shit, everything's empty.
Yeah.
drop the mag, spot the far end, and I would have a AR right here, and I
Yeah.
grab the AR magazine because that's what I was used to.
Yeah, and that's another one, reloading. I was taught, of course, with 1911s, we didn't have the fancy, flared
Mhm.
magazine wells or any of that shit.
Mhm.
It was drop the mag, roll the pistol, so you could see the mag well,
Spot the far end, far side mag well.
Yeah. and put it in and come back up and roll your hand over the top, not over the front of the gun, but over the top if you needed to rack the slide. And you always kept it pointed down range. And I've watched a couple of videos of tactical instructors who, oh, well, you take and roll a pistol where you can. Say, what? I'm not going to roll a pistol, point it straight up and roll it back so I can see where the mag well is.
Oh,
And then you've got others that go, well, you never draw the pistol back. You do the mag reloaded full arm extension.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you, as long as it's safe, is what's right.
I've been to Gunsight. I've been to Quell. Well, that one's a little esoteric. I've done Magpul. I've been to so many gun courses.
Yeah.
And one of the things that got beaten into me very gently was when the slide's locked back and the magazine's out, there's nothing in that. Who cares where the muzzle is pointed? There's nothing in there. As long as you're back online, when you drop the slide, the weapon's safe. And that got beaten into my skull. Also, trying to clear any sort of malfunction pointed downrange is you.
Yep, tap rack bang.
Well, anything past a tap rack bang, if you're having to rip the magazine and work the slide, keeping it downrange, it's when somebody's trying to get up under your hat with you, that is very, very difficult to do.
Well, and what you've got the difference between tactical use, actual tactical, and range safety. And the ranges require that for a reason. And when I taught basic pistol, and even today when I still teach it, I tell folks, these are range procedures. If you take other training, you will be shown different ways to do it. This is what you do on a range to safely what?
I just remember we went to a Texas, or I went to a Texas peace officer firearm instructor school, and the old boy running it was a friend of mine, knew me rather well, and they'd invited a big name instructor who had some ideas that were he's still around, no longer teaching, but still around, still making pronouncements about various stuff.
Oh, joy.
Anyway, and he was a big early adapter of the pull back and scan and assess. And he was teaching everybody to scan and assess. And it's like, look for threats. So second day, I went and got something that might have been pink, put it on. And when the line was shooting, I was about 10 feet behind the line, gyrating. And so
nobody ever saw you.
Yeah. And all these guys were scanning and assessing. Nobody ever saw a pink gorilla back there doing the full monkey.
Yep.
Yeah. It was range theatrics. Pat McNamara hits it dead on. He calls it tactical theater. That they'd snatch that gun back and do the scan. They weren't seeing a damn thing because the not the famous instructor, but the guy I knew got done the course fire. Said, all right, and what did y'all see? Nothing. You didn't see the pink gorilla air humping? What? And then I'd walk out and wave. It's like you didn't. Every course of fire, he was back there pretty much dry humping the air, and not a one of y'all saw him on
Yeah.
your scan and assess.
Well, you lock in.
Oh yeah.
You know, the auditory exclusion, the visual exclusion. You know, you lock in on that target so tight.
Mhm.
I mean, when you're
And it got to where they weren't thinking about it. They were just doing it. This is what famous instructor wants. This
Yeah.
is what I'll show him.
Yeah.
So they were, and then back and then getting ready to go again. So I'm back there, giving the air and in a pink gorilla suit, and nobody saw a damn thing.
well. Remember the training where they used to say you take your pistol and point it into the sky as soon as your scene is safe. You know, what happens if you just put some guy down and he's not dead? You're going to take and point the pistol at the sky.
Well,
So you've got to come down and muzzle whatever's in front of you yet again.
there are times when that is preferential. Max, I took TFTT. I don't even know if Max Jones. I don't even know if Max Jones was still teaching. I took TFT back when it first came out, and learned the comeback.
Yeah.
And then in training, we'd punch out. So I would get done, and then what you do is you rotate back in, and
So
and then if somebody got stupid, you punch them, or punch out and shoot, and that's what I default to.
Yeah.
Always risk what you're going to walk into. Yeah. It was a point was made.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we beat that point in the ground.
a couple of times.
But the bottom line, folks, is whatever you do, you have to practice.
Yeah.
If you don't practice, you have A, wasted the money, B, you're going to forget everything you were taught, and C, there's more than one way to do anything.
Oh yeah. Everybody is. I used to break people down into 4 categories. I don't do that anymore. But I used to, if you were innately aggressive in an aggressive posture, if you're innately defensive in aggressive posture, if you're innately aggressive in a defensive posture, or number 4, you're innately defensive in a defensive posture. And every one of those, all 4 of those, back when I was still, determines what you're going to do. It does.
Yeah.
And what works for somebody who's aggressive doesn't work for somebody who's in the other 3.
Yeah.
I was at the time, and still am aggressive I'm an innately aggressive posture. I'm innately aggressive defensive posture now, for the most part. But what Rita's innately defensive posture. What works for me doesn't necessarily work for her. It doesn't. She's smarter than I am. She's not as well trained as I am. And again, she has a defensive personality with a defensive posture. I had an aggressive personality.
Differs? No. Just friggin' no.
Practice teacup.
That's got to be one of the stupidest.
No, the stupidest one is the James Bond gripping the wrist.
Yeah.
That's the stupid one.
But anyway, Mead Hall, good example. Good training, multiple instructors.
Bill Armstrong is a hell of an instructor who pulls in good instructors. If you're in the Midwest center part of the country, Mead Hall in Shawnee, Oklahoma is where you need to go.
Pinky out, yeah. Depending on how long the grip is, you may be wagging that pinky out there. Now,
Or you may start getting scars right here if you short grip and pinching it every time you slam the mag home.
Yeah, no shit. Bitches.
Yeah, no kidding.
There are people that will tell you if you don't have that pinky connected, you can't shoot the pistol well.
You can. You don't shoot it as well, but
who was it that used to shoot it with just 2-finger grip?
oh, several of them.
Oh crap!
I've seen with 32 ACP. I watched. He took a 32 a C Camp 32 C Camp 32, which is not a light recoil pistol.
Yeah.
And he had his social digit wrapped around the grip, these two out, and was pulling and fired an entire.
Yeah.
And that damn thing was popping all over the place, but he kept it in the A zone.
Yeah. The number of shooters back in the day, trick shooters, they would shoot with their little finger on the trigger.
Now I like getting as much beat on the gun as I can because Murphy hates me personally.
Yeah.
But that's it's less sucky. If you're in a fight with a pistol, world sucks. Pistols suck. Pistols are terrible for ending fights. If you're in a fight with a pistol, you have done screwed up somewhere. But you can make it less sucky.
Yeah. Well, Raptor. Eastwood did do that. However, the 44 Magnum can be better controlled with both hands on the grip.
Yeah.
I'm not even going down that freaking path.
I wouldn't.
Anyway, moving on. 60s and 70s spy movies. No. Yeah. Although the Israelis did the.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I am so sick and tired of the Israeli tactics being held up as great. They're not.
That was designed for assassins with a friggin' suppressed 22 to get in, get close, pop them in the ear, pull it down, and disappear. That was never a combat grip.
No. Israeli training is lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
With multiple friggin' different. Israelis had 11 squillion different pistols.
Yeah.
Of different operating systems, the whole 9 yards, and they had to bring up a whole bunch of levies, a whole bunch of conscripts to a certain minimum level. Does not mean it worked. It did not mean it worked worth a damn. It just worked for the maximum number of people.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that they did not have a round loaded in the chamber. That's the way they taught it. Was the first thing you did was rack the pistol to load the chamber.
Because if you had 100 pistols, Smith & Wesson 39s, Walther P38s, Luger P08s, Nambus, 1911s, 14 squillion different types of pistols with operating systems. The safest way to start is with the damn thing unloaded.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's good. It means it's safe.
Same thing in 1948 with airplanes. They were flying Spitfires, Mustangs,
P-38s.
They were flying German airplanes. They were flying Me-109s.
Whatever they could get.
Yeah. The pilots were an interesting mix also. Some of the Americans that went over got to fly. As one guy said, he said, I flew airplanes I flew against in combat.
Mm-hmm.
And my training to go fly that airplane was a 15-minute, okay, here's where all the shit is. I don't know what any of the words mean, but this is what you need to start it. Jump in it and go fly it. Me-109s were their first flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Gordon, that's the new SIG carry.
Yeah, the Israeli carry.
Ow, not far from the truth, sadly.
Well, again, I have no dog in the fight.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't own one. I don't care. As long as I don't get shot with one of them.
I don't carry them, not because I think they're safe. It's just I've got clocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Rifles a whole different thing. I spent 20 years shooting out of Quantico. I got trained by professionals there how to shoot rifles.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, there is shooting at long distances is different, very different. Of course, one of the reasons I suck with a shotgun is I never shot birds as a kid. We shot rifles. We started with 22s. We went to 30-30s. Then we went to 30-06s by and large.
Mhm.
Because that's what we had. A shotgun, there was one behind each door. That was in case anybody came in. But we didn't bird hunt. That wasn't our thing because we raised enough birds that we ate the damn things.
Mhm.
And if you've ever tried to pick shot out of a damn dove's breast, it's about that friggin' big. And, there's 5 pieces of shot in it and you get 4 of them. And then when you're eating, it's like kirk pud. You got to split it out.
I started bolt guns and double rifles because that's what the professional hunters in West Africa use. And my first semi-automatic was an SLR. And in the Army, I got to learn the M16/AR-15.
Yeah.
And I like the AR-15. It's ergonomic. It makes sense to me.
It's a Barbie gun.
Yeah, I do. I can make an AR-15 dance.
Yeah.
I've got an AR-10. It's over at Jim's house right now. I have an AR-10, and quite honestly, it's a better rifle than the SLR. In the for those of you who don't know, SLR is an FNFAL. The AR-10 is handles better than the SLR. I don't know that it's as tough.
Yeah.
SLR is a tough rifle. People think the AK-47 is durable. No, SLR is much better.
It's also more accurate.
Oh yes, the AR-10 just works better for me, and I'm not thumping around the veldt for 14 days anymore. So the AR-10 works just fine.
Yeah. I bought a Scar 17 heavy for one reason. That was for hogs.
Hmm.
Because shooting hogs with an AR 5.56, 223, whatever you want to call it, is non-productive. Trust me.
It can be done if you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing that way.
If you have small hogs, yes.
If you know what you're doing.
If you've got larger hogs, no.
We have a friend
Yeah.
that fills freezers with a 17 rimfire on hogs.
Yeah.
But he got ice water running through his veins and knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and he's also not chasing them out in the open field either. When he's doing that, he's got a much bigger rifle.
Oh, sure. They're a blackout no good for larger hogs. I don't know. I've never used one.
BDL is a Browning. It's a derivative it's one of Browning's brands.
I don't know.
It's in various.
The only BDL
calibers.
I know of is it was at one time a designation for Remington's entry level. Yeah, the BDL was your basic, and then you had deluxe, and going up BDL was your basic wood furniture rifles. BDL was just the basic.
Yeah, Taylor uses a 4440, but
I also knows what he's doing.
Not your stock 4440.
Also knows what he's doing. I don't.
300 blackout. If it's subsonic, honestly, I wouldn't even try it. You don't get the penetration.
If you got loaded to match 30-30 or better, it can be done. I wouldn't go after Hogzilla with it.
No.
But a 200-pounder, 250, maybe 300, I wouldn't. Okay.
I will tell you for a fact, learned this the hard way. Do not shoot the friggin' hog between the eyes, because all you're going to do is piss them off. Shot one between the eyes with a 30-30. It was a boar, not a hog. And it went down. And I'm going, yay, I killed a son of a, oh shit.
Nope.
Went up a tree.
A lot of the game wardens I know use 4570s or 450 Marlins, which is a belted Magnum version of 4570.
Yeah.
On hogs, and quite happily.
Thanks, Jesse. Remington 700.
Yeah.
ADL, BDL, CDL.
Well, also, I've got a Remington 5.52 with the first American rifle. I was 12 years old, and my parents bought me a Remington 5.52 for Christmas. It's a tube-fed 22 long rifle. And I got the BDL version, which meant the stocks were smooth.
Yeah.
And the ADL version was $20 more and had checkering on the stocks. Don't sit punch a hog with a 9mm plus P out of a P7 either. No. I did 127 grade Winchester Black Talon, and it was, I had just gotten back from gun sight. I did a beautiful speed rock early days. Textbook speed rock. Wham! The hog went, oh, you motherfucker. And things went rodeo from there.
Yeah. All right, let's get off of that on the books.
Fred Phillips, Dreams of Golden Fire, #1 new release.
Yes.
In kids' books.
Young adult books, boys' books, however you want to call it.
Coming of age fantasy books, apparently. #1, top new release.
Yeah.
Woo!
Which is outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
And Artifact Origins is also doing well.
Doing rather well. We seem to do better with the fantasy and science fiction than we do with the crime.
Yeah.
Vice Noir did really well, but it never got, I don't think it got into the top 5.
I got into the top 5 once.
Did it? That's a huge,
that's a huge market.
Oh, no kidding. That genre is huge.
I did have a story in that one.
You did?
Yeah.
I think I made it the last one too.
Yeah.
I made the anchor story.
The problem, it's a plus and a minus on anthologies. The plus is you get to read multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
The minus is if you're looking at one sole author in that book, that story may or may not be something you like. We had quite a conversation offline about this out at the con. The thing is that people like writing for anthologies because it gives them a chance to explore things they don't normally do.
Cool.
But by the same token, they're also taking a risk if they are writing specific genres. As one lady admitted, she said, I've got like 6 pseudonyms because I have one for each genre I write in.
That used to be fairly common.
Yeah. And she said, if I'm writing for an anthology, I'll pick the pseudonym that's closest to the genre of the anthology.
Makes sense.
And she said, I work really hard to make the story as good as I can. She said, but I'm always scared to submit it because I'm scared how it's going to stack up against the other stories. Because we all have imposter syndrome as authors. That's
I'm not sure that Larry has imposter syndrome.
Oh, he does. We've talked about it. Yeah. Kids categories are not easy to break into.
No, they're not. They really aren't.
Yeah.
So the fact we have a top new release.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the thing about it is,
new section, Ian and Jim's FMs and TMs.
Those things are out there. You can find them online yourself. Nick's is a serial for yes.
Yes.
His is also in serial too.
Yeah, well, it's on #2. We'll have one more next week, and then we'll pull it down for 2 weeks and release the full novel. So,
Tiff, yeah. The thing is, everybody suffers imposter syndrome. When you go to a con and there are top name writers there, you always feel like you're an imposter when you're around them.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, they may be at or near the top of the food chain, but they still have those same insecurities. Is what I'm writing good enough? Will my fans like it? What happens if I switch genres? Will the fans go over with me? I mean, I found out they won't. I've got fans that point blank said, we don't like your science fiction. We don't read science fiction. So
But you got fans that do. So
yeah. But I went back and started the 1800s Western to pick those readers back up.
Smart.
Yeah. We can always learn, yes. That's the thing is, we have to learn. Just like I told one of the young ladies after I watched another young lady walk off out of the con, she said, "You're looking at her." I said, "Damn right, I'm not dead. As long as I'm looking, I'm still alive. As long as I'm learning, I'm still alive." That's my take on it. Now, like I said, everybody's different, so do your own thing. And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time.
Hour and a minute.
Yep. So go read, go buy the books.
Yes. And tell folks about the book, especially the children's book.
Yeah.
Fred needs all of them. We need to send Fred money. So
yeah, that's an excellent point, John David. Niven probably pointed out back in the 90s that maybe a half a dozen people are actually making a living writing science fiction. Very few people actually make a living. Larry's one of them.
He makes a good living.
Yeah. Dave Weber, John Ringo.
But you can definitely make adjunct money to smooth things out through writing.
Yep. I can afford coffee and McDonald's occasionally.
I need to talk to Cedar about how to make. She was talking about cold brew coffee. I need to. Rita's started drinking iced coffee, so I need to figure out how to make cold brew coffee.
Good God, no. Get shit away from me. And remember, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Have a good weekend and be safe. And
be safe.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Larry's a trust fund baby? No, he's
no.
Korea?
No.
All right.
Larry is a friggin'
he's a dairy farmer's kid. He's
farmer's
damn
kid,
sure not a trust fund baby.